Hi everyone, this is a quick overview on the key features of version 25 aimed at channel managers and how to relay the key features and benefits to your channel. Okay, let's get started, shall we?
Umango 2025 is an industry game changer. From build your own custom AI document types, a whole new take on input connectors, new export connectors, and prioritizing of sources. You've even got entire document language conversion and your own personal Umango AI assistant. Umango can even analyze images and photos, extract information and questions that you've got around those images, and even make decisions based on the content of those images, and lots more. Stay tuned for Umango 25 in 2025.
So that's a quick summary of the things we're going to go into a little bit more depth during our session here. But first off, from a high overview, why version 25? And the fact is that Umango is leading what we call the intelligent document processing sector or industry with our AI capabilities in our elite tier, and certainly in version 25. So Umango is not a scanning application, it's not even a capture product. We are now in the intelligent document processing area or arena, and that's really the terms and the conversational pieces that you need to start addressing if you're not already with your channel. And unless you've been living under a rock, the investment in artificial intelligence is absolutely in the billions of dollars. We are right now at a cusp of a technology revolution, and Umango has providing that capability in such an easy-to-use product that your resellers and customers are going to absolutely love. Okay. And quite frankly, your dealers expect you as channel managers and sales professionals to understand AI implications and solutions. So if you're already just focusing on one particular product in your portfolio, now with some urgency is the need for you to diversify, understand how AI can be utilized and benefit your dealers and their customers. And again, Umango provides such an easy product, as we're going to see in this overview, to really show and sell those capabilities. And I'm pleased to say that Umango is really moving and outmaneuvering a lot of the competitors in the market. Really, a lot of competition is just not really focused on this whole AI and intelligent document processing arena. They might be focused on old school capture technology. They're not supporting the industry. So I'm very pleased to say, by storm, we are absolutely taking market and market share. Now, we have focused very much in keeping our mantra of incredibly easy to install, configure, and use. And in version 25, we have some incredible capabilities, but we've really worked hard on making sure that they are really still part of the Umango ecosystem. If you're familiar with Umango, you'll be able to come up with the familiarity on version 25 features quickly and easily. And I have to emphasize to you, and I'll end the evangelism in a moment, now is the time to invest in Umango and the opportunities for your dealers and their customers. You know, whether it's a reseller or a customer, they're in the same boat. And that is really the emphasis on differentiating their offering reoccurring revenue, multiple touch points within either, whether it's the dealer business as your relationship with your dealer or the end user. You know, let's face it, customers, what's keeping them up at night is how can I utilize artificial intelligence to streamline my business? Now, in one simple product, there are so many different capabilities for you to offer and make great opportunities and great revenue. Okay, as I mentioned, that's enough with the Umango side of things. As from a high level, let's get into sort of the deeper opportunities and capabilities in version 25. The first off is what we call build your own document types. Now, in version 23, as we're going to see in a moment, I'll step you through what a document type is and what it represents. And we're going to just explore a little bit around what is the significant capabilities of building your own AI document type in our elite tier in version 2025. First off, I hope you can see on your screen, I'm just going to show a series of videos here showing you how you utilize an existing AI document type in Umango. So as we would do normally, we would select on the cog on the right-hand side and would create a new job. And this would be the same on our prior versions of Umango Elite tier and what you would do in version 25. And the main thing I want to show you here is within the Zones tab, you drag in a sample document or sample documents. And enabling our Elite tier, you can see that we have a document type to choose from. Now, what this represents is potentially many millions of documents that we've trained to understand, for example, if we select an invoice or a purchase order, where to look for that metadata. It takes all the heavy lifting and all the high tech out of that. Automatically, when I select that, Umango's going to know, right, I'm going to be looking, for example, for an invoice number, totals, ship tos, bill tos, SKU codes, taxes, and the like. Okay. Now, of course, you can use any of these and also delete zones that are automatically identified and add new zones. But it's not as sophisticated or as elegant as we'd really like Umango to be in this AI arena. So what we're going to do now is show you through a few steps on how you would go about creating your own AI document type. And again, would be utilized where our existing document type just doesn't quite provide the solution. You know, the existing document types just don't meet the unusual document type that, for example, a customer might have. You know, they could be, I don't know, a baking company, and they've got a whole series of production documents. They're very bespoke and very unique, for example, with their business or their industry. Guess what? Now you can train Umango on those specific documents using AI technology to neurally train and recognize the information on their structured and unstructured documents as an example. So what I've done here is I've dragged in, you've got to drag in at least 5 documents, and you select AI document type. And those 5 documents, you can utilize an existing AI document type as a foundation or a basis, or go right from scratch and just start drawing zones on each of your 5 or more documents, specifying each one, the name of the zone, and what to read. Now, I emphasize this is not technical, this is not difficult. If anything, I would suggest this takes time. I call it units of coffee to actually get this done. And this is a great benefit in the sense that the channel can really offer customized AI document types as well as Umango end users to really solve their own unique bespoke requirements. So what I've done here is I'm simply moving each zone, making sure it's nice and constrained around the data that I want. In this case, because we've used a pre-existing AI document type, it's named those zones, taking a best guess. We, of course, can rename those zone types as metadata fields around something that means something to us. And what we're doing is we're actually telling Umango, in this case, this zone, for example, is a key from image. This is an OCR zone. This is a date field. This is a signature panel, I should say. This is a checkbox. And we're specifying the data as well of what to expect in that field. So again, if you can use a mouse and a keyboard, you can create and build your own document types. Now, in this quick example, I've gone into my second document of my at least 5 documents. And you'll note this one, the zones don't align, and that's because this is a renewal form. The first one was an application form for the first-time applicant. So guess what? The information's in different locations. Same thing, all I simply do is move into my second document and move the zones corresponding over where my information is on my second document. I can even reassign a zone from, so for example, one page to another where the information may appear differently in a different location. And you'll see how I just specify what it is, making sure Umango's read it, and I simply step through all of the zones on my at least 5 sample documents. And when I now save it as a named document type, I now hit Train, and I can specify if it's a structured or unstructured document for analysis. Umango weaves its magic, building and training, and then that is a custom document type for us to use and recall in building a Umango job. Remembering we only need to do this once, and then it's available for everyone within the organization to use. And that's it. So what I'm going to do now in the next field is just show you how you would actually use that. So we've now trained Umango in our own particular custom documents. All we do now is, just like we would before in Umango in prior versions, we select a new job, we name the job type, we will then go to our Zones tab, we will drag in our sample or sample documents, And this time you can see that we've not only got our pre-existing AI document types, but our custom document types that we've trained just for our particular client or just for that particular instance. It's a premium document type. Umango will use that neurally trained or AI-based document type to then verify and validate against the samples that you've done. Bingo, it's all done. The zones are there, the names are there based on the AI document type, ready for you now to utilize, configure in your exporting of metadata and so forth, all those other great features within Umango. But how good is that? You've now created your own AI document types, creating an absolute bespoke and unique need to each particular client around their documents that are very unique to their business. And again, that may not be solved with their existing pre-trained document set. And here I'm just going through, the export routine, the ability to simply merge and export that information to a wide range of different document management systems and the like. Okay. Moving on, our next important thing for you to jot down is what we call import connectors. Now, in Umango, you may be familiar with what we call export connectors. And export connectors are just a method of connectivity, just like you saw on that prior screen. Okay, how do I want this information exported into my business system? And it could be Box, Drive, SharePoint, DocuShare, DocuShare Go, a huge range of different document export methods. Now, we've actually turned that concept on its head, and now we've got import connectors that are just like export connectors in their variation and their options. And I'm going to run a quick video here for you to watch, and I'm just going to explain their significance and why this is so important. So you may be familiar in Umango that we have what we call our inputs, and they traditionally could be a watch folder, they're embedded on a multifunction device, a Trae dedicated scanner, an incoming email address where, of course, we can filter by words or phrases in the subject heading, the sender's address, whatever it might be. And to add, we can render the email body and the attachments, of course, are processing. But now we've got all these document management systems that we can actually bring in information from. What's the benefit? The reason is because there are so many legacy systems out there that are unruly and have just grown over time, and they're not well managed. The business changes over time. They might have, for example, SharePoint libraries that are just a complete mess, for example, and they are crying out for a solution where they can grab all that information, bring it into Umango, do some data cleanup, even get some human intervention involved, and maybe export it back out into SharePoint or whatever it might be, or to a new document management system. And we see this as a real key opportunity. For those that have got that pain point, this is just going to solve that in such a powerful way. I think in my next slide, I actually show you a video of this in a little bit more detail. This is where I'm going into an existing job. I'm going to my sources, adding a connector, and you'll see some of these. There's a whole new range of different email types, Google, Dropbox, and in this case, I think I'm going to look at in depth in DocuShare Go. And what I want to do here is actually this is email, sorry. But let me just go on a little bit more, because I think the one I want to show you is DocuShare Go. So on this one, why am I showing you this is because you can actually specify in the import connector what rules around what to import and what not. And you can also specify, to delete from the original document management system as it passes through Umango and export, or just simply duplicate it. So you've got all these different options within these different import connectors as well. And I just wanted to show you that bit to clarify it as well. So you can do all these filtering rules and all those sorts of things on what to grab and process and what not. Okay. Version 25, not only on import connectivity, but it's all about export connectors. So we've recently added Xerox DocuShare family of products. We're actually currently, as this is bringing up, we're going to be developing Leap, Box, and many, many more. And of course, we've already got all our cloud export connectivity, JSON, XML, and all those other document management connectivity types that you know and love as well. Here's a minor but worth benefit I'm mentioning to you. So in version 25, we've added what we call source priorities. And what this means is that, let's just say, for example, we've got the CEO and we've got a multifunction device that the personal assistant uses for the CEO located near his office. Now, what we can do is we can prioritize that as source number one in the whole whole organizational, I guess, hierarchy of what to process within Umango, first, second, and third, and so forth. So when that personal assistant scans something, for example, on that multifunction device, Umango will prioritize that anything incoming from that source is number one, and it'll sort of filter through the hierarchical list from there on in. So it's about setting priority queues on inputs within version 25. Document classifiers. So document classifiers is actually nothing new in Umango, but certainly had a complete revamp in version 25. Now, what is a document classifier? I'm glad you asked. So if we can read on screen here, it is create a new classifier and assign it with automation rules. When documents arrive, they'll be automatically sent to the correct job for processing. Now, I'm going to show you again a little bit in depth in a moment, a video around how you set this up. But let's just set the scenario here. So just say we've got an end user that says, look, now I've got hospital application forms and I've got another enrollment form. And you know what? They're in a group of sources that I can't separate. You know, maybe an incoming watch folder, one of those input sources that I mentioned about before, whatever it might be. So what we're doing is we're associating a group of inputs to watch, associate, I should say, with a series of jobs. And Umango is going to identify which job I should route that document to. So it's going to take, for example, a look at the first document. Is that an enrollment form? Yes, it is. I'm going to route that to the enrollment form job for processing in its own unique way. And the next one could be, for example, an application form. Oh, no, that's very different. I'm going to route that to the application form job for processing in a completely unique and independent way. The really cool thing, of course, is that we can create these as document drops. So everybody that's got access to Umango can drop and drag files onto there for processing, right, within the web browser based on their login credentials, but also, again, any of our sources as well. Okay. Right, let's just move through there. And I'm not sure if I've actually played this or not, so I'll just play it now just to explain all that. So here is our document classifier being run. I name the actual classifier itself. And by the way, just click on the cog on the right-hand side, create new document classifier, sorry. In this case, I'm naming it mixed patient registrations and enrollment forms. You can set there's some options to check each document, each batch, those sorts of different options. I add our connectors, watch folders, email accounts, all our document management input connectors, multifunction devices, you name it. I select my output, my folder selection. I'll get it right. So in this case, it's watching an incoming folder. And this set tab is the jobs tab where I associate the jobs that Umango is going to make decisions around and process these documents. So in this case, I specified benefit enrollments and patient registrations, as I mentioned before. Your last tab is your image enhancements. You can auto-rotate, do some image cleanup and filtering. You hit save, and there becomes a classifier that's listed under the classifier option on the far left-hand side. And it's ready for people to use. It's that easy. Okay. Document language conversion. How many organizations have offices in different parts of the world with different languages? And the poor marketing departments have to deal with the fact that we've got to convert our brochure material, our information from one language to another. Now in version 25, that's solved. Now, in Umango previous versions, you've been able to select words or phrases of text and on the fly dynamically get it to convert from one language to another. It's great for understanding what you're processing and also making those permanent pieces of information on your export. Version 25 takes it to a whole new level. Now we can convert documents from one language to the other, retaining layout of fonts, paragraphs, tables, pictures, and so forth. Super easy and a huge benefit to anyone that's got that pain point. And I'm just going to show you a quick video of an example of a job that I set up to detect what language it's in, and if it's not in Spanish, to automatically convert those documents. So let's take a little bit of a look here. So I've created a job here. It's a marketing job. And I've just simply asked the question by drawing a zone within that that area of each document, and I'm utilizing Umango's Ask AI. Is this document in Spanish? Answer yes or no. And on the export, I've got two exports. One, of course, is just going to pass through the document if it's already in Spanish, but the other one, if it's not in Spanish, to convert it to the Spanish language and output it. And you can see here the amazing amount of translation document languages that we support. I think it's all of them. Okay. So again, finding that pain point, that solution is going to be just such a huge benefit in version 2025. Okay. Now, this might sound a little bit technical, but it's just good to know that Umango 25 will support containerization. What does that mean? It just means that you can run Umango and all its dependencies in a container. It means that you can install it on, like, for example, Linux or something of that nature. You don't necessarily need it to run it on a Windows environment. And this takes us, obviously, as part of our product planning, to different methods of being able to deploy Umango in the cloud, also completely solely on-premise as well, depending on what your needs are. Umango AI Assistant. Now, again, we've worked so hard within the Umango application through the years of making it incredibly easy to install, configure, and use. We've added this to a new capability, the fact that Umango has its own AI assistant. Now, permeated through Umango, you can see this little outline of a blue head with a question mark in it. Invoke that at any stage with whatever you're doing in Umango, and in plain language, simply ask Umango how to do something. Who likes doing SQL commands? I don't. I don't even know how to do them. I don't even need to now, because I can click on the Umango AI Assistant, ask the question, and Umango will respond and tell me the answer. And here's a quick little example of how that works. So here what I'm going to be doing, I can again select from the right cog, right-hand side, the cog there, Umango Assistant, or again, here where you see that little icon, click, Umango Assistant would be launched, and in plain language, I just ask Umango, how do I do something? You can even upload a sample image or a screenshot as part of your Umango AI Assistant experience. So in this case, how do I create a Umango job that reads a 7-digit number after the word account ID? Click on the green button, and the Umango Assistant will take you step by step through how to work that, how to solve that. Super easy, just really emphasizing, minimal support, great user experience within the application itself. Okay. Here's something I absolutely love, and I think it's absolutely going to revolutionize the opportunities with Umango and this whole intelligent document processing category. So now imagine if you could interrogate photos and images and ask questions and make decisions based on those. Well, in version 25, you can do just that. And you can get very specific with what these questions are. But here's some examples that I'll show you an actual job that I've created and we'll run in a moment. So in this example, provide a summary of the image in about 50 words. If the image contains a house, include a description. And again, you can get quite specific with what things that you really want answered. Provide a summary, description of the house, building materials. And this is interesting to show you decision making. Does the image contain a house under construction with a roof? Answer yes or no. And this is where you can start to route and save to different locations, and that would trigger document workflows and business processes in the end user's business systems. And this is really the solution to how businesses now use mobile devices to capture a business process. But the pain point is it just resides in the mobile device. It has some generic name. It sits in the device. There's just not efficiencies in getting that in as part of the business process. And that's solved with version 25. So let's take a quick look at this little demonstration here. I'm going to process this and show this quite fast, so watch carefully. So in this case, I actually have driven around and I've taken some photos on my mobile device of residential houses in my area. And what I've done is I've actually asked a specific set of questions. I've asked, first off, naming the file, summarizing a 50-word summary of what you see, a title, and I asked specifically, does this photo contain a house under construction? If it is under construction, put it in an under construction folder. If there is no residential house under construction, put it in a folder called no. And my last question is if there is a house under construction, does it contain a roof? Answer yes or no. And these would reflect, say, business triggers or workflow practices within a construction company where, let's just say, a supervisor needs to get involved when a roof has been built within that residential house. They may need to go out and inspect it, do a series of checklists, whatever it might be. So I'm using Umango's document drop there as an example just to drag those files in. I've already explained a lot of different import connectors and inputs that Umango already has. And what we're going to see here dynamically is that folder structure being created. Remember I mentioned under construction or no as my primary simple example to show how these files are going to be delineated into two processes or two export paths. And you'll start to see that already I've got an HTML file here with the no's, and we've got some images that have been processed and been deemed under construction. So automatically Umango's make decisions, answer those questions, and starting to file them into different export methods that we want. So I'm just going to show you these very quickly. So these are under the no folder. So this is a green field. There's my 50-word summary. Does this image contain a house under construction with a roof? No. And it's, of course, in the no folder. Here's an interesting picture. So this is actual residential area, but there's no residential house being built. So the answer is no, and it does not contain a roof. So it's in the no folder. And last but not least, Twilight View, nice title there. This image shows a grassy area with a roof. No, it's in the no folder. And again, you can get very specific with what you want Umango to answer with those questions. Here's our under construction folder. House under construction materials outside. There's my 50-word summary. Does this image contain a house under construction with a roof? Yes. And it's also in the under construction folder. Here's a house under construction, but it does not contain a roof. So the answer is no. Here's one here. Construction site at sunset. Metal scaffolding, construction equipment. It's under the under construction folder, but the answer is no. It does not have a roof. So this, I want you to think as I'm explaining this, how this could be used in so many different industries and so many different opportunities for processing images in a constructive way, getting meaningful information extracted, answered, and routed within business processes. Okay, we're almost done with our session. Got a couple of things for you here. So just to mention, in version 25, we are offering handwriting capability within the Umango Pro tier. We're utilizing Abby's handwriting extraction. It will enable you to draw a zone, specify its handwriting, and get that extraction. It is not as sophisticated, of course, as the Elite tier and the unstructured handwriting capabilities, but a superb opportunity at a great pricing point. And remembering, Umango Professional can be completely an on-premise solution. So here's a quick recap of my leading in slide. I mentioned version 25, and then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and I'll see if you can answer them. So first off, Umango is leading the intelligent document processing industry with its AI capabilities. And I hope you have seen just some of that within these slides in this presentation on version 25. Nothing new. The investment in AI is incredibly massive. The improvements in this capability set and with what Umango can do will just continue to improve and improve. But it is so important as you as a channel manager to be understanding of this capability and its ramifications and how customers are going to need to solve these sorts of these needs, these pain points, utilizing Umango. If you're not, you're asleep at the wheel. Now is the time to get on board and understanding in version 25 and the capabilities and the intelligent document processing solutions that it can provide. We are fast replacing competitors in the marketplace with these sorts of capabilities, our product support and our product development, and hopefully you've seen that in this quick session. And we have really focused on delivering these sorts of capabilities in such an easy-to-use fashion. So really getting up and running as a reseller, training and being familiar with the Umango product is quite minimal, and really, again, deploying these solutions at your customer site is quick, super easy. And with things like AI Assistant, being able to create jobs and export them and those sorts of things means that delivery Umango solution is super quick, super easy. And As I mentioned, now is the time. Get on board with Umango version 25, and embrace its capabilities and the fresh new conversations you can have with your channel partners. All right, let's go through a couple of quick questions just to see if you're paying attention. The first question, name 3 features in Umango 25. Go back and think of some of the key benefits and the key features of version 25. See if you're paying attention. The next question, name 3 languages Umango can convert entire documents into. Can you think of any? Give you a hint, I think it's pretty much every language. And in that video that was showed before, scrolling through that list, it was most of them. Question 3. Provide 3 examples of information Umango can tell me about images. Can you recall that construction site sample that I showed you? What were some of the questions that we were able to get answered within Umango? All right. Hopefully you found that informative. You're welcome to reach out Umango at any time or visit our website, umango.com. I'll be seeing you soon.